God speaks loudest in the silence we avoid. There is a whisper buried beneath the layers of all we carry, the heaviness of secrets, the weight of unlived dreams, the shadows cast by regrets we cannot name. Our lives are gardens where we've planted many seeds, yet too often we forget what we've placed beneath the soil. We pass through our own hearts hurriedly, fearful of what might bloom if left untended. Yet, hidden within the dark soil, in the very ground we feared to tread, is the quiet, gentle voice of the one who has never stopped speaking. It is strange, isn't it, how deeply we fear our own forgotten places, the abandoned chapels of memory, the tombs of silent hurt. We build walls around our pain, lay stones upon grief, as though the God who rolled away the stone himself would not dare enter here. And yet, these buried places, your losses, your hidden sorrows, your unseen wounds, these are precisely where his presence most fully dwells. Where you see decay, he sees fertile ground. Where you feel forgotten, he remembers your every whispered prayer. Have you ever felt invisible, even to your own heart? Have you felt your life passing softly, unnoticed, like shadows shifting quietly at dusk? You have wondered at times if your struggles, your silent sacrifices, even matter. Yet, God hides his most precious mysteries in the smallest places, in mustard seeds, in the grain buried beneath the soil, in moments invisible to the world. He is found precisely there, in the hiddenness you dread, in the quiet humility of your unseen days. This is a God who sees beauty in invisibility, a God who himself walked unseen for 30 quiet years, hidden in the stillness of ordinary carpenter days. He knows intimately the holiness of invisibility, the sacredness of what is buried beneath the gaze of the world. Your quiet acts of courage, your patient endurance, your moments of silent surrender, each of these is a whisper of grace, echoing eternally in the chambers of heaven. Yet our souls grow weary, longing for proof that the seeds we've sown, the buried dreams, the whispered prayers will someday bear fruit. Our hearts become burdened, believing we must carry it all alone, forgetting that grace was never meant to be earned but received. God waits in the weariness itself, in the surrender that comes when our strength finally runs dry. This holy exhaustion is not punishment, but invitationa, gentle drawing into the sacred stillness of letting go. Consider how the seasons teach us to surrender. The trees do not hold tightly to their leaves. The earth does not cling to the summer warmth. Each year, creation gently yields itself to the quiet rhythms of grace. Why then do we hold so fiercely to what we were always meant to entrust into the loving hands of the one who fashioned us from dust? Why do we fear what is lost when every loss contains within it a quiet resurrection? We bury so much because we fear the pain of remembrance, unaware that beneath each sorrow lies sacred soil, fertile ground for new life. Aging reminds us daily of this truth. Our bodies carry quietly the marks of passing years, each wrinkle, each ache whispering softly of a journey made in hidden courage. Age teaches the wisdom of letting go, reminding us gently that true identity does not fade with time, but deepens in stillness, rooted eternally in the one who calls us beloved. There is holiness in aging, a quiet grace in recognizing that our worth has never depended upon what we can do, but upon whose we are. In the silent passing of years, we learn to see ourselves through the eyes of eternity. We find the courage to revisit what we've buried, to gently dig our hands into the dark, soft earth of memory and loss, knowing that nothing hidden from the eyes of Christ can truly remain lost. He invites us, gently yet persistently, to uncover what we've buried, not to torment us, but to heal. Every pain we carry secretly, every regret we bury deeply, every sorrow hidden beneath layers of quiet shame, He already knows intimately. There is nothing buried so deeply that His grace cannot find it, nothing hidden so carefully that His love cannot illuminate. We fear what is buried because we misunderstand God's mercy. We imagine judgment, yet His kindness patiently waits beneath the surface of our lives, offering tender forgiveness where we have sown bitterness, quiet healing where we see only ruin. Like a master gardener, He gently sifts through the soil of our lives, patiently nurturing the hidden seeds of hope, coaxing life from places we had long deemed lifeless. Forgiveness is perhaps the most sacred of all buried treasures. To forgive is to gently excavate grace from the ruins of hurt, to find God precisely where bitterness had taken root. Forgiveness does not erase pain, it transforms it. It turns wounds into sacred ground where mercy flowers quietly in the darkness, blooming silently into new beginnings. Yet forgiveness, true forgiveness, requires sacred stillness, a willingness to enter quietly into the silence of our own wounded hearts. It means facing gently what we have buried, naming tenderly what we have hidden, trusting deeply that the same hands that formed us from clay now gently remake our shattered hearts. The sacred stillness of forgiveness is where heaven quietly touches earth, where what is broken becomes holy again, bathed softly in the grace of eternal restoration. And now, as you pause here, breathing deeply into the quietness of this moment, understand this: God is not far off, waiting impatiently for you to find Him. He is already here, closer than your breath, waiting quietly in the very places you've avoided, in the shadows you've feared, in the silence you've misunderstood. He is the quiet heartbeat of every buried memory, the gentle whisper behind every unspoken prayer. He waits softly in the stillness of your weariness, in the humility of your aging, in the quiet grace of your invisibility. He is found precisely where you thought you'd buried yourself too deeply to ever be found again. Listen now. He whispers softly, your true nomino, the one you earned or lost, but the one He gave you long before you drew your first breath. You are His beloved, cherished, known fully in every hidden place. The soil beneath your feet, darkened with tears, watered with quiet pain, is sacred ground. It is precisely here, in the earth of your forgotten gardens, that God quietly awaits your return. Let the walls around your hidden heart gently crumble. Let the stones you've placed over your wounds be quietly rolled away. Resurrection is not only for eternity, it is for now. It is for this very breath, this sacred moment. It is found quietly, profoundly, in the act of gently unburying the God who waits patiently beneath everything you've hidden. Here, in the stillness, He meets you softly, quietly, completely. In His holy gaze, nothing remains hidden, nothing forgotten. You need not fear the silence. In it, you will find Him waiting, arms open, whispering softly the words your weary soul has always longed to hear. Come, beloved. You are already found. In everything you buried, I have always been there, quietly waiting, patiently loving. Welcome home. You have spent a lifetime fearing the depth beneath your own surface, afraid that if you dug too deeply into your own heart, you might find darkness too heavy to bear. And so you've lived as one guarding carefully what is hidden, walking gently around the edges of your life, never daring to peer fully into the holy silence where God waits. Yet, it is precisely this gentle descent into your buried places, this quiet, trembling walk through what you've hidden that transforms your heart from stone into flesh. It is here, beneath the surface, where divine whispers resonate loudest, where grace is no longer abstract theology but a living, breathing reality. Here, the wounds you've hidden slowly become sacred marks, signs not of weakness but of tender strength. Do you know that God Himself chose wounds as His greatest sign of love? He bore scars willingly, visible marks of hidden suffering. In His resurrected body, He carried the wounds not as shame but as holy revelation. So too, your wounds, those you buried beneath layers of fear and shame, are not blemishes to hide but sacred places where Christ gently presses His own wounded hands, whispering softly, "I know. I have felt this pain too." In our quiet hours, we sometimes fear the solitude, wondering if loneliness will become our permanent companion. But solitude is holy ground, the silent wilderness where we discover the depths of our longing and the vastness of God's gentle presence. In solitude, your buried self emerges softly, gently, like morning mist rising from the quiet earth. Here, your heart breathes again, remembering the intimacy of a Creator who has never left your side. Solitude is the quiet voice that speaks truth to the heart exhausted by noise, calling softly, "Come away and rest. Lay down your striving. Let yourself be loved exactly as you are. You were never meant to carry the weight of performance, to earn affection, or to strive endlessly to be seen." In the quiet solitude you fear, God offers the profound freedom of invisibility, the grace of being known deeply, fully, without pretense or mask. And as we begin to embrace this sacred invisibility, we discover that what we've buried are true selves, our hidden struggles, our tender dreams is exactly where God quietly moves. His gentle spirit whispers through the layers of soil and secrecy, calling forth growth from what we thought dead, beauty from what seemed broken beyond repair. What we fearfully buried becomes the rich ground of divine encounter, the holy meeting place where human frailty kisses infinite grace. The journey of aging, with its quiet invitations to release control, becomes not a slow march toward loss, but a gentle pilgrimage towards sacred surrender. Age does not diminish you. Rather, it strips away illusion, quietly unveiling the eternal self, the soul made radiant by surrender, the heart refined gently by years of hidden faithfulness. Aging is holy precisely because it reveals who you've always been beneath the layers you've carried, the beloved child of a gentle God who treasures each quiet moment, each unseen sacrifice, each whispered prayer. In every quiet Lawson, the slow passing of days, in the silent letting go of what once defined you, there is a hidden grace, the soft whisper of eternity drawing near. Each moment you've buried, each grief you've silently carried, becomes holy soil where God plants seeds of quiet redemption. There is no sorrow unseen, no tear shed alone. Each drop of quiet grief waters hidden seeds that will one day bloom into sacred joy. Perhaps you've feared your own emptiness, the quiet hollow at your center, thinking it a sign of weakness or failure. But emptiness itself is sacred space prepared gently by God, the hollow carved tenderly within you, a silent room where divine presence quietly dwells. Emptiness is not absence, but quiet invitation, holy ground, waiting patiently for God Himself to fill. Listen closely. God delights to meet you in the empty spaces you've avoided, the quiet hollows you've hastily covered over. His voice echoes softly in these sacred voids, whispering gentle truths of belonging, acceptance, and endless grace. Here, beneath your surface, in the quiet depths you fear, is exactly where His holy presence is most fully revealed. Your true identity, your quiet, eternal self is never buried too deeply for God to reach. There is no depth beyond His gentle touch, no hidden wound beyond His quiet healing. What you've buried was never truly lost. It was gently waiting, patiently hidden beneath the surface, ready to be found in the tender gaze of Christ. God invites you now, with infinite tenderness, to quietly release the illusion that you must remain buried beneath shame or fear. He softly calls your buried heart forth into the quiet light of His mercy, reassuring you that nothing about your life is ever wasted. Every hidden moment, every forgotten sorrow, every unseen sacrifice holds eternal value in His gentle eyes. It is here, in quiet surrender, that your buried self finds the courage to rise gently, reborn through the grace of Christ's own resurrection. Your life, once carefully hidden, emerges quietly radiant, marked by scars. Yes, but scars now glowing softly with divine presence. Your story, once feared or buried, is gently embraced by God, woven tenderly into the sacred tapestry of redemption. Can you feel Him now, close as your own heartbeat, gently whispering your name into the quiet of your soul? His voice carries no condemnation, no judgment, only the sacred whisper of belonging. You were never meant to bury yourself in isolation or fear. You were created to live quietly, freely, fully loved, in the radiant silence of God's eternal gaze. He does not come shouting or demanding, but whispering, softly calling your heart into holy communion with His own. This quiet invitation is always waiting beneath the surface of your hurried life, beneath the noise and distraction, patiently beckoning you towards sacred stillness. Today, now, right herein, this gentle breathe is your moment of quiet resurrection. The stones you once laid carefully over your buried heart are gently rolling away. In their place, soft morning light streams gently into places you thought forever hidden. This is your holy dawn, your quiet rising, your sacred return. Let your heart now speak quietly, confidently, truthfully to the God who listens patiently to every hidden whisper. Allow yourself to be gently unburied by the mercy that knows no limit, the grace that turns shame into holiness, fear into quiet courage, and buried wounds into radiant signs of love. Beloved, nothing you have hidden is beyond His quiet redemption. Nothing you have feared is stronger than His gentle embrace. Now is your moment, softly illuminated, quietly holy, where the buried becomes beautifully known, and God, ever patient, ever loving, waits quietly in the stillness, whispering gently your eternal name. You are mine. You have always been mine. Welcome home. The gentle paradox of faith is this: to find God fully, you must first surrender to the quiet mystery of losing yourself. To rise into resurrection, you must descend softly, courageously, into what you've buried, trusting that beneath each shadow lies a holy invitation toward deeper communion. You have walked so many roads in quiet loneliness, holding yourself carefully back from others, afraid that if they saw what you've hidden, they would turn away. Yet, in the tenderness of divine love, isolation itself becomes sacred. In your hiddenness, God reveals himself as the friend who remains when all else fades, the quiet companion whose gentle presence never falters, who whispers softly in your solitude, "I am here." You thought loneliness was abandonment. It was always quiet preparation, a sacred hollow carved gently by divine hands, a silent space meant to be filled by holy presence. The emptiness you buried, the ache you feared, is the very sanctuary where your soul quietly meets God. Your loneliness is holy ground, waiting softly, patiently, for the gentle footsteps of Christ. You have wondered, perhaps, if your quiet life matters, if your hidden days, your unseen kindnesses, your silent patience hold significance. But God's gaze does not measure greatness by outward spectacle. He delights instead in quiet faithfulness, in the whispered prayers no one hears but heaven, in the quiet courage that moves gently beneath the surface, unnoticed by the world. Each unseen moment is precious to him, eternally held within his gentle heart. In God's eyes, invisibility is not obscurity. It is sacred intimacy. It is the quiet invitation to draw near to his own hidden heart. To him, nothing is lost or forgotten. Your quiet sacrifices, your silent courage, your hidden acts of love, each is seen, treasured, gently cradled within the eternal memory of God. Perhaps you have hidden pieces of your heart because of shame, afraid that your imperfections disqualify you from love. Yet it is precisely in these imperfect, fragile places that God's grace most gently shines. He loves you not in spite of your brokenness, but because of it. It is exactly where you feel weakest that his strength quietly unfolds, where you feel most deeply wounded that his mercy gently heals. God chooses fragile vessels, quiet lives, humble hearts, not to shame the strong, but to reveal the gentle power of grace that transforms weakness into sacred strength. Every buried memory, every silent regret is gently held within the compassionate gaze of Christ. Your hidden heart, trembling in quiet vulnerability, need fear nothing from the God who knows intimately each shadow, each scar, each sacred sorrow. His love does not recoil from your wounds. It softly draws near, covering your scars with gentle kisses of infinite mercy, whispering tenderly, "You are safe here. Your hidden places are my home." This quiet encounter with grace transforms suffering itself into holy ground. The tears you have buried, in silence, become sacred waters, nourishing seeds of resurrection beneath the surface of your life. Each quiet moment of pain carries within it divine promise, the whispered assurance that nothing, not even the deepest grief, is beyond redemption. Suffering, gently embraced in faith, becomes the sacred doorway into deeper communion with the Christ who suffered softly beside you, whose quiet presence transforms sorrow into eternal hope. In the quiet, letting go, the gentle surrender of control is the holy freedom you've always sought. To release what you've hidden, to gently surrender what you've clung to in fear, is to discover divine peace waiting patiently beneath your striving. This surrender is not defeat, but holy liberation, gentle awakening to the truth that your life, hidden in Christ, is eternally held, quietly cherished, profoundly loved. God does not rush the process of your healing. He moves gently, patiently through your buried layers, softly brushing away the dust of fear, revealing slowly, carefully, the radiant soul beneath. His gentle presence teaches your heart patience, inviting you to trust quietly in the slow unfolding of grace. Your buried heart need not fear the pace of its own healing. Each quiet step is sacred, each hidden movement toward wholeness gently guided by the patient hands of Christ. The sacred journey toward healing is quiet, not loud, gentle. not forceful. It unfolds in subtle rhythms of divine patience, teaching your heart the profound beauty of waiting in holy stillness. The seeds you've buried will bloom softly. In God's time, each quiet blossom a testament to divine faithfulness. Trust this gentle unfolding. Rest deeply in the quiet assurance that beneath each buried dream, beneath each hidden grief, is holy soil nurtured patiently by the loving hands of God. Heaven, too, moves gently in hidden rhythms, softly shaping eternity within the quiet spaces of our ordinary days. You do not have to strive for holiness. Simply remain quietly present to the God who gently shapes your soul beneath the surface of daily life. Each moment, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a quiet whisper of eternity, a gentle breath of the sacred, hidden presence that holds all things tenderly together. It is precisely in quiet hiddenness, in gentle invisibility, that your soul learns to see with new eyes. You begin to recognize divine fingerprints, softly marking each hidden corner of your life, each forgotten detail of your story. God, who sees even sparrows falling quietly, also sees you. Every breath, every hidden tear, every quiet prayer reaches holy, gently gathered by the one who treasures the quiet things the world overlooks. Now, as your journey deepens into quiet surrender, your heart begins to feel the gentle pull of eternity, the sacred longing for home, the tender yearning for a place beyond shadows and pain. This quiet ache is not despair, but holy homesickness, the gentle reminder of your eternal belonging. Beneath all you've buried lies a quiet memory of Eden, a subtle longing for a home your soul has never fully forgotten. Yet, even now, as you gently walk the earth, your soul softly touching holy ground, eternity draws near. God Himself meets you in quiet communion, whispering softly of the home you seek, the place He prepares, not distant or unreachable, but present here, gently hidden in the sacred stillness of your soul. Heaven is already softly present within your quiet heart, the gentle whisper of eternal love resonating beneath all you've hidden. So come now, quietly courageous. Let your buried heart rise softly from its shadows. Allow God's gentle hands to unearth what fear once concealed. This holy uncovering is not to expose or condemn, but to tenderly heal, to gently restore, softly remind your soul of its eternal worth. Today, in this quiet breath, let yourself be found. Feel God's gentle gaze of love upon your hidden places, upon your buried dreams, your silent grief. Trust His quiet voice whispering softly, "I see you. I know you. You are forever mine." Here, beneath all you've buried, God's gentle presence illuminates your life, transforming shadows into sacred spaces, wounds into quiet grace, solitude into holy communion. Here, in quiet resurrection, you are gently remade, softly rising from buried places, renewed by divine love, restored by endless grace. Here, in sacred silence, your heart finally breathes free, quietly, deeply, fully alive, eternally found by the gentle voice that whispers softly within your soul. You are mine. You are always mine. Welcome home. This quiet moment, this gentle breath is sacred. You feel it now, do you not? The soft stirring of eternity within your chest, the subtle presence whispering beneath your surface, gently loosening the bonds that held your heart captive. This is the holy work of resurrection, not loud or forceful, but quiet, patient, gently, persistent. The same hands that shaped galaxies now softly touch your wounds, healing what was hidden. whispering mercy into the silent hollows you feared beyond repair. Every hidden wound you've carried so carefully, every quiet grief, every secret regret, these were never meant to remain buried. They are gently held by a Savior who knows what it means to bear scars openly, without shame. His quiet invitation now is to let yourself be seen, to gently trust that every wound exposed to grace is a wound quietly transformed. What you've buried in shame, God tenderly lifts into the light. He does not flinch at your shadows. He quietly moves toward them. He does not condemn your silence. He softly inhabits it, transforming your hidden places into sanctuaries of quiet communion. This is how we find God, not by avoiding what we've hidden, but by gently returning, trusting softly that beneath each stone we placed, beneath every secret sorrow, He patiently waits. He waits not to punish or chastise, but to quietly mend, to softly heal, to whisper again and again, "You are mine. Nothing can separate you from my love." It is this quiet reassurance that brings courage, the gentle strength to revisit buried places and tenderly reclaim the life you thought lost. This holy courage is gentle, like sunlight softly filtering through morning mist, slowly illuminating what fear had long hidden. You have feared judgment, now taste quiet mercy. You have hidden shame, now feel gentle acceptance. You have buried your true self, now see yourself, softly reflected in the eyes of infinite compassion. This is resurrection. This gentle reclaiming of what you feared forever lost. To be resurrected is not merely to be restored, but to be made new, quietly recreated, gently reborn. Resurrection speaks softly through your wounds, turning scars into sacred testimony. Your life, quietly unfolding in grace, becomes a living prayer. Each gentle step, a silent hymn of gratitude. Each hidden sacrifice, a whispered song, echoing softly into eternity. And as your journey deepens, you discover this quiet truth. It was never you who buried God beneath layers of silence. It was always God who buried Himself gently within your soul, waiting patiently, lovingly, to be quietly discovered. He chose to dwell silently, softly, within the very depths you feared, knowing one day you'd come searching, one day you'd gently return, one day you'd unearth the holy presence, hidden so tenderly within. God has never been distant. He has always been closer than breath, nearer than heartbeat, softly whispering beneath every sorrow, waiting quietly beneath every grief. This sacred excavation of your soul is a gentle homecoming, the quiet realization that what you've sought was never far away. It was patiently hidden in the silent center of your being. Now, softly awakened, you see the world with quiet wonder. Your eyes, gently opened, find sacred meaning hidden. In ordinary moments, in sunlight softly pouring through leaves, in quiet conversations whispered in love, in moments of gentle surrender that feel, at last, like home. Your journey forward becomes a quiet pilgrimage, no longer fearing silence, but cherishing it, no longer hiding wounds, but softly sharing them, knowing that your story, quietly told, holds healing for others who also walk the gentle path of buried dreams and silent losses. You become quietly radiant, not from perfection, but from gentle surrender to divine love, softly allowing yourself to be fully seen, deeply known, profoundly loved by the God who whispers tenderly within. This is your holy becoming, not loud or flashy, but quiet, humble, deeply authentic. Your soul, gently unburied, shines softly, bearing quiet witness to the infinite mercy that patiently resurrected your heart. And now, as this sacred journey gently unfolds, your heart feels quietly anchored, grounded softly in the eternal truth that you belong to Christ, held securely, patiently, lovingly, in His gentle embrace. In quiet stillness, you sense clearly that all along, through every hidden sorrow, every silent struggle, He has been softly present, guiding you gently home. He whispers once more, softly, clearly, in the sacred quietness that now surrounds you. Asterisk. Beloved, you have always been known. You have always been held. In every buried moment, I have been quietly there. In every hidden sorrow, I have softly wept beside you. In every silent hope, I have gently planted seeds of grace. Nothing about you is lost to me. Nothing about you is ever forgotten. Asterisk. Feel the sacred truth gently resonating in your soul, quietly echoing into eternity. You are deeply loved. You are quietly seen. You are tenderly held. This moment, this gentle breath is holy because God is here, quietly present, softly whispering your eternal name. Asterisk. You are mine, beloved. You have always been mine. Asterisk. And now, quietly resting in this truth, your heart is gently free, free to live softly and fully in the radiant quietness of divine love. Welcome home,